Okay, I hope that's a good introduction for your room, Rob.
John,
What
this
up,
song
babe?
is giving me negative vibes.
Really? You're getting negative vibrations from this? Listen closely.
But what's making it negative?
Okay, how are you feeling now, PayPal?
Amazing. I like the music, but little scary.
You gonna read a book here, Evie Tall?
What's going on? How's my quality? Pretty good quality.
Yeah, we can hear you pretty good.
All right. Let's see. Audio quality normal. Still pretty good. So that's a good quality.
Quality, quality, quality.
All right. Pull up these lyrics. On the corner of Main Street. You guys ever heard that one?
No, I never heard that song.
It's work.
I forgot that you played music.
Ever heard that one?
No, I never heard that one.
Read my mind.
Where's that artwork from on your PTR? Is that Norval Morrison?
No, that's the traditional Cherokee art. It's the Cherokee origin mythology. It's in the Cherokee hotel and casino.
I put a link in the chat. That's the campaign to elect John Kitover for Congress. If you want to give $1, $100, or $1,000. But we're getting signatures this weekend out in Rockford. I just did a pretty big podcast for about 45 minutes. So we've got press moving, and we've got $600 raised from Clubhouse.
Are you signed up?
I'm signed up with Antidote.
Are you obtaining signatures and doing that process?
Yeah, we've got petitions, and we're gathering signatures now. And
Who are you running against?
Darren LaHood, the rhinoceros vaccinologist and super debt creator. I talked to Augustus Palante this morning. He had a Maha COVID-19 vaccine alert room today. So they're still pushing vaccines. I don't know if you saw the National Institute of Pediatrics said that they're going against Kennedy and are suggesting all children get the COVID-19 vaccine.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous.
I know, so unnecessary. It's insane. If you're alive right now, you're breathing and you're kicking and you're doing your thing, why the fuck would you go get a COVID-19 vaccine?
I need my mRNA. You know what's been the gotcha question that I've really figured out from Clubhouse? Like, when they're prattling along about how important it is, the technology, you just ask them when they stop taking their boosters. Every one of these loudmouths decided at some point to stop taking boosters. I'm making a personal decision. They say trust the science for everybody, but they don't trust the science. Like, none of them are fully boosted.
People are also addicted to testing themselves for COVID-19 still. People have all these old tests around, and if they've got the flu or whatever it is, they're just like, you know what, I'm going to rub this on my nose and see if I'm positive for COVID-19. Anyways, are you going to play more? Because I got some musical instruments over here too.
I was doing
Have you ever heard me play the Chinese flute?
nobody on the road, nobody on the beach. Feel it in the air, summer's out of the reach. Empty lane, whoops, empty lane, empty streets. Sun goes down low, I'm going by your house, no one home. That's right. I gotta practice that one. I was messing around with that earlier. Sit down, Henley, master. Freezing up.
Striking down all over the ground in front of me, so I felt like I had to go live. I could document my first lightning strike.
This is so funny. I love when Arabs roast each other. Nothing is more hilarious than that. I know, it's like throwing a bubble. I know, it's like a joke. Oh, no, it's a bubble.
What the fuck, John? What's going on?
This is John Kitover.
Agency, dumbass nigga.
I'm John Kitover.
كيف حالك حبيبي؟ كيف حالك حبيبي؟
Oh my gosh, hello.
Hello. What's up? My name is Adam Ferrari, Chief Executive Officer of Phoenix Energy. I look forward to you joining us.
Man, that's all good, but he can use it later. He can share with his family. Yeah, وتحمل صراحة من الجحبة بعد. Mohammed left. Yo, Minnie.
Yeah.
Let me talk to your boy DP.
I think you're a good guy. You want good rooms.
My My grandpa? Why are you saying your?
I mean, he's the grandpa.
Why are you saying your?
It's actually cooked up in Wuhan, China. So to just immediately go to
Sure.
the 72 vaccine schedule that
To be honest, I've always wondered how it is to actually pee. How to take and pee, like to urinate.
You have a little tiny clitoris. Your little clitoris is like a little penis. And when your little clitoris is to take a pee-pee, you make a pee-pee through your little clitoris penis.
I was doing everything. David. Yeah. No, I'm saying I would actually be on everything. I would love to know how it is to have a I would love to know how it feels to get an erection too. I said I want to know how it is not to feel it. I want to feel it to have it. No, okay.
that's where that person's.
واي اكبر قلب بامكان تكون. Yes. And understand. And I said I'm gonna spend him 360.
They're trying to get this out maybe on Tuesday. They're trying to get it out by Friday. All right. Okay, God bless George. I really appreciate it.
واحدة بنت متناكزة دي تسخن 5-6 رجالة. وانت ابن زانية تلاقيك
The Big Beautiful Bill Act gives the Fortune 500 $500 billion a year in tax credits. That's all future tax liabilities for you. It's transferring it from the Fortune 500 to we the people.
penny. So you would like me to suck your dick, is that correct?
Yes.
Evidence of
That's fine.
things.
So what's
Stop
your goal?
opening up rooms and speculating that people are doing things that you have no idea what they're doing.
Fuck you. Hold on. Son. When your king
We're living
they started, okay?
in a vaccine industrial complex. It's not a vaccine diet. This is not you targeted message.
What the fuck you are, nigga? You in class or what? Talking about keep silent, dumbass nigga. Why don't you show me thousand some respect since I've asked you such much?
Wait, who let the blacks in here? Yeah, no blacks.
Yeah, guys, remove any black people from here.
Yeah, no, this is a Muslim room.
That was
So predominantly Muslim room, so
No, I'm not a Muslim.
no, I'm saying it's a predominantly Muslim room. There's a lot of Mohammedans in here. So like we can't have black people in here because Muhammad hated black people. Muhammad did hate black people. No black. No black. He said yes. No, he said respect the Ethiopian even if he has a head like a raisin. And he said that the gen on your left shoulder is black.
Fuck you.
Use the left shoulder.
By the way,
ولا عالي انت عاوز
يا محمد هلا انا قلت لك يا ابن الشرموطة لانه انا هلا
Exactly.
يا ابن المتنكة يا ابن الجحفة بدي بدي عالية بتيز امك يا ابن الشرموطة
Muhammad sucks dick. I think the secret or
I have respect for all religions, though. I don't.
No, this Muhammad, the Muhammad from Egypt.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, we all know that Prophet Muhammad sucked dicks, but
No.
he did. And And I saw the Prophet kneeling down, lifting up the gown of
I mixed them up.
spreading open his legs, and kissing his baby penis. That's what it says in the
Okay,
hadith.
wait, hold on.
Let me tell you something.
I mean, that is what it says.
You know why Jesus never had sex before?
No, Jesus,
Because
no.
Muhammad's just too busy fucking kids.
You know
No,
why
Jesus. He's not even a Christian. He's not a Christian.
What he is?
85. Why is it exactly? Why is it? Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. All that. You took his horn. Shut the fuck up. So listen, 85. I have a question. Why does it say that Muhammad went down to the river with a young boy, and when he went after his prayers, he would come back and Aisha would clean him up, saying all this stuff?
Come on. Hey,
Muhammad, you know it's true. Your prophet would come back covered in semen stains.
fuck you, man. Like, oh. Yeah, it's
No, it's not. No, it's not. Shut the fuck up. Left shoulder, do not talk.
You are man,
Do not talk left shoulder.
you a long key.
Bro, you a left shoulder, bro. Muhammad hates you. Prophet Muhammad said you're a dog. Turkish or faggots? Istanbul's a rat hole.
I'm just here living my best life, Habibi. كيف حالك حبيبي؟ علمك حبيبي. كيف حالك حبيبي؟ علمك حبيبي. وين متحطط الحجاز حبيبي؟ كيف حالك حبيبي؟ وين محطة الحجاز حبيبي؟ اي والله اي والله حبيبي.
audience can order whatever she wants from the menu. The other has food allergies. You do your best to avoid food allergens, but accidents can still happen.
In our quest for the truth, Jesse, Honest, John, Jay, oh boy, Kaparobor, Al, Tamek, Javed, this one is Palmer Tracy, I mentioned that's Tracy Palmer, and William. Welcome to the Critical Thinking Forum. So, this is where I get to tell you the room rules. We're here Monday through Friday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. New York time. By the way, tomorrow I'm going to be using a different interface. And I'm going to rely on Alan, who's got extremely well-developed auditory capabilities, to tell me whether there's an improvement or a degrading of the audio quality tomorrow. Alan, this is your assignment, if you care to accept it. And you know the rest of that. The tape will burn in 30 seconds. Okay, so anyway, we're here Monday through Friday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. New York time. Top of the hour, I will give you my opening salvo, which I hope encourages you to come up on the stage and join us as Alyssa, Jim, and with great trepidation, John.
Why great trepidation, Gary?
I'm inviting him up to the stage, Scott, because he's your friend, and I am going to hold you responsible for his conduct.
I will gladly be responsible for my good friend, the candidate, Congressman hopeful, John Kitover.
I will tell you one thing, if John gets elected to Congress, you think when George Santos was there, Congress was, an interesting place to watch? You think that Marjorie Taylor Greene, wait till John gets in there.
They're gonna say those people were vanilla. He's
Nothing,
the real
vanilla compared to John. Vanilla. Okay, and John, no more memes in the chat, thank you. I know you'll probably come back under another nickname. We do not want memes in the chat. It's a serious discussion, and we will keep it that way. Anyway, boy, I'm going to run out of time here. I will call people in the order in which I see them, which may not coincide with the order in which you see yourself. Worry not if it appears that I've skipped over you. I always get to everyone. Unlike many of the other rooms on Clubhouse, we speak one at a time, and we endeavor to not interrupt one another, and we endeavor to treat each other with a degree of decorum and respect, and for that, I thank you in advance. Generally speaking, after people speak, they're removed to the stage of the audience, not punitively, but so that I can maintain the order without getting lost. If this happens to you, you want a second go at it, raise your hand, time permitting. You will be given a second opportunity since we are here from 5 to 6 p.m. New York time in about 5 minutes to 6. We will no longer be inviting people onto the stage, but if you're already on the stage and in queue at the 6 o'clock hour, we will go into extra time to give everybody an opportunity to speak. Welcome to the Critical Thinking Forum. That's the fastest in history. A new record by Gary Baumgarten. Kitover, John, welcome to the stage. I don't think I'm going to have time to welcome people individually who have subsequently joined the audience, but welcome to you all. And Tiger, congratulations congratulations for having the fortitude to come up to the stage after yesterday's discussion. Marad, welcome to the stage. Seconds away from starting at the top of the hour, literally. Barbie, welcome to the stage. Welcome to the Critical Thinking Forum. We're here Monday through Friday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. New York time. Today I wanted to delve back into what's really going on with Mr. Putin. And I think now, there was a lot of speculation when he went to Anchorage about whether that was all form and not substance. And I think a lot of that was a criticism of the president, but really, the critique should have been, I think, and I think we're all potentially guilty of this, if I'm correct in what I'm about to say, the critique really should have been about Putin. Because it seems that Putin is playing the president, he's playing Zelensky, he's playing the European community and NATO, he is playing the world. I don't think he has any intention of meeting with Zelensky. I don't think he has any intention of ending this war. His intention is exactly what it was when the first time they invaded Ukraine, and then Ukraine was promised security guarantees, whatever the hell that means. You know, we say things, and it sounds great, but what the hell does it actually mean? And, well, we gave them the security guarantees, and what happened? Well, Russia, just when he was ready, just marched right back in, literally. And so what were our security guarantees anyway? But the more important thing is what's going on the ground right now. And I think those of you who have been watching the chat probably are not surprised that I am moving in this direction, because the day of the meeting in Anchorage, while they were meeting, they intensified their attacks on Ukraine. And the subsequent day, they intensified their attacks on Ukraine. And I wrote in the chat, and folks who are uninitiated, the chat is linked above. It's a Facebook Messenger chat for Critical Thinking Forum users. It's open 24/7. Feel free to join and participate. I use the terminology, Putin is flipping the finger at the world. And now, without question, because the president said as recently as yesterday that the Kremlin has indicated that Putin is ready to meet with Zelensky. And all the speculation was, well, where would they meet? Who would be there? Would Zelensky be safe? Because, you know, they tried to assassinate him. And all of that was wasted rhetoric, because he has no intention, in my assessment, of meeting with Zelensky. So today we learn, in spite of what the president said yesterday, the Kremlin has not formally agreed to meet with Zelensky. So it's all BS. Like most of the stuff that comes out of the mouths of politicians and diplomats, BS. It's totally meaningless, except it's not meaningless to the people who are being killed. And when we say people are being killed,
This is the Gary Baumgarten podcast on Clubhouse.
Something that we rarely talk about with specificity, but it is so necessary to do so. Unlike in Gaza, somebody tried to make the comparison. Unlike in Gaza, where Hamas was hiding behind civilians, presenting a conundrum for the IDF. Do you go after them, or do you let them live and basically give up on the war because they're hiding behind civilians? So what Israel tried to do, as best as they could, with some success and with a lot of lack of success, they notified living or working or whatever in that facility were coming, get the hell out, and then they would attack. And of course, when they warned them, of course, they were also warning Hamas. So many of the Hamas guys, as soon as the warning came out, the people fled the building, and the Hamas people went underground, literally, to tunnels that were built under the buildings. Okay, fine. But there was a reason, a rhyme, a reason, whether you agree with it or not, as to why Israel attacked what appeared to be civilian populations, despite their attempt. And by the way, they did the same thing in Iran. They did their best to minimize civilian casualties there. This is not what Russia is doing in Ukraine. And if we want to have moral indignation about the way the Israelis are prosecuting this war in Gaza, and people have the right to take that position, whether I agree with them or not, they have the right to take that position. It's a legitimate position to take. Why are there not demonstrations on the street over what Russia is doing? Because there is zero justification for their attacking apartment buildings in the cities of Ukraine. There is a military force that's not hiding behind civilians. They are out in the open. They are at the front, and that's where the battle is supposed to take place. Although it should never be taking place, of course, because it's an invasion of a sovereign nation, but that's where the battle should be taking place. Where the hell is the indignation over that? So at a time when he is saying, oh, I want peace, and the President of the United States is saying, I think Putin really wants peace. I think Putin really wants peace. I think Putin really wants peace. Then why is he accelerating his attacks on the civilians? That's not an indication that he wants peace. And by the way, Leon Panetta said it best today in an interview on CNN. If Putin really wanted peace, he would agree to a ceasefire and then negotiate. That's how it's done. No, instead, he increases the attacks, and then they put out a statement accusing Ukraine of accelerating the war. That's exactly what the Kremlin did today. Point the finger at the victim. By the way, there's a parallel there when it comes to Israel, but we're not talking about Israel today. But I threw that in anyway because I felt like it. Putin does not want peace. Putin wants a military victory in order to get territory that he wants, and until Zelensky is willing to capitulate and agree to this so-called land swap, which is not a land swap, it's swapping occupied territory for unoccupied territory. That's what their vision of a land swap is. It's a land confiscation. They're attacking in one area that they could get in order to get Ukraine to agree, because they want this war to stop, Ukraine to agree to say, okay, stop. Give us our land back, and you just take our land over there, which is mineral rich. That's what's going on. Give Putin some creds. He's freaking brilliant. And there's been a lot of discussion about how easily Putin is playing Trump, and has always played Trump. A lot of people have made that allegation. I don't know whether that's fair, or whether the people who say that are saying it because they just do not like Trump and can't say anything positive about him. I will take Trump at his words and say that he wants to help negotiate a peace, and it may not be altruistic. It may be because he really wants that Nobel Peace Prize. He said so, but I don't really care what his motivation is. If he's successful in helping broker a peace, all power to Trump. I'll give him tremendous Accords, which I believe were the brainchild of his son-in-law, but still, he had to sign off on it, and it's his administration, his first time around. He deserves credit for the Abraham Accords. So I'm not suffering from Trump derangement syndrome, which really doesn't exist. But in this case, it's pretty obvious that Trump is being played by Putin. What did Putin get out of this? And somebody was really, two people the other day were dismissive at my suggestion that Anchorage was a photo op for Putin, who's trying to re-establish his image as a serious member of the international community leadership. And so he's greeted by an applauding President Trump on a red carpet, and then is given a ride in the Beast, and people say, that's no big deal. It's tremendous deal. And to Putin, it's sort of like the image of him riding bare-chested on a horse. Remember that? That's exactly what this is to Putin. So Putin got that out of it. Trump got the impression, and everybody's hopes got raised, that he was inching Putin closer to an agreement for peace. And remember, unlike Leon Panetta, unlike NATO, unlike the European Union, unlike Zelensky, who are on accord that there has to be a ceasefire, our president, who is smarter than anybody else, and I'm not saying this sarcastically, I'm quoting him. Okay, maybe there's sarcasm. Our president said, no, I don't want a ceasefire, I want a peace. And I think that Putin wants a peace. We don't need a ceasefire, we need a peace. Which I think is an indication of how naive he is about how these things work. I can't, unless there's malice involved in this. And then the next day, after all the others said, ceasefire, he comes out and he says, well, maybe I could go for a ceasefire. The person in control of all of this is this very smart, very conniving, the guy who was the head of one of the most premier intelligence agencies in the world during the Cold War, Vladimir Putin. I can see it no other way. He's playing us all. In Gary's opinion, your opinion may be different. I'm going to find out right now by calling people in the order in which I see them, and today that order begins with Scott.
Gary, great to see so many friends advocate very interesting things geopolitical institutions. Good to see the Congressman candidate, Congressman John Kitover. His battle. Also, my friend Alan was great. First, Gary didn't give me a guess. Alan's fantastic. Great choices. Well, Gary, it's been said that Trump was said in this room just the other day that Trump has been battle tested negotiations in the crucible of New York City real estate. Whether or not Trump has been successful there, or he's rebranded and saved his financial empire through reality TV. We can that. Hey, Gary. You might be fun. Gary, you brought something up about Trump not wanting a ceasefire, wanting a peace. I think there's something to that. And also, I think Trump is focused on process, not substance. So I think rather than saying we want like a ceasefire or this, like the European leaders want, he said, oh, we gotta do this. No, okay, we got, we had a very good meeting. Now we're gonna meet with Zelensky. Then we're gonna meet here. And it's just the meetings themselves aren't accomplishment, right? And that if you just sit down enough times, then there's some kind of automatic result. The result is some kind of just peace, right? And I say that again, a just peace, right? I mean, Martin Luther King said that peace isn't the absence of conflict, but the presence of justice, right? As you said earlier, Gary, this is an unjust war. It's a illegal, unjust war, and any concession is a moral tragedy. Now, I'm not saying that concessions may not have to be made, but as I said before, when some of the folks on this stage that pop in talk about the fact that we have to make concessions, they do it with a little twinkle in their eye, almost like they're rooting for us. It's fascinating. They don't say it's sad, it's tragic, but we might have to. They're almost getting it, in fact. They don't think Ukraine has prospects. But yeah, I think you're right. I think Putin is playing, or at least what you propose is possibly Putin. I think is playing Trump like a fiddle. I think Trump. Somebody posted that thing for 2013. Remember when Trump was holding the Miss Universe pageant in Moscow, and he tweeted out, I'm holding, we're Putin at 10. Will he become my new best friend? This is a killer and a tragic, a terrible person. In 2013, Trump wanted him to be his best friend. I mean, this is weird, right? I mean, that's strange. I don't feel think that was strange.
By the way, I think that Jeffrey Epstein was probably upset by that because he was his best
Of
friend.
course. Well, I mean, Putin's got a lot of good-looking girls. I think he gets close. But I don't know why people don't find things like that. Some of the Trump's just don't find that disgusting, right? But they don't. It's as if it's like what Trump said. Like I can go out on Fifth Avenue, okay? I can shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose a single vote in the price of works. He's right about that. I mean, Trump has been right about many things, and one of them has been the absolute.
I think he said he wouldn't be arrested, and maybe now with the latest.
When you feel like
They can't lock Obama up now for all the planning to steal the election, all the Russian propaganda.
straight.
By the way, one of the finest looking people to ever be in the cabinet. And Christy Noem used to be more attractive, so she had this fashionista kind of makeover. I mean, she was a much lovelier person as a governor. I thought her fashion sense and just her sensibility for makeup was just much better. To make sure Ukraine never enters NATO or the EU, and to make sure that he's got to weaken Europe, right? And that his legacy is a sort of revived Russia, one that begins again to inspire his former corners of the Soviet Union. And I think
In a way that, like, he's running in the way that, like, some crazy dude always runs in Chicago. It's very
active. It's a huge deal. It is a huge deal. People die to get a meeting, right? Despots always want a meeting, especially on U.S. soil, right? Because it grants legitimacy to people who are viewed as illegitimate. And so people don't see what the big deal is, right? What's the big deal that Putin gets the red carpet? That's just how you negotiate. So no, it might be how you negotiate a merger between the Hard Rock Cafe and Applebee's or something, right? But on the international stage, these things matter. These things are significant, and Putin is getting things, concessions that are significant, while he's continuing this seems really clear. Sometimes, Gary, we talk about pretty complex things here, and there are not easy answers, but this is not one of those days. I think that is playing Trump, and he's playing it for his own immoral and unjust ends. And there you go, Gary. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Thank you very much, Scott. And I just want to not be remiss by failing to give a tip of the hat to Melania Trump for bringing to the world stage the question of the children who have been kidnapped by Russia. Her husband didn't do it, but she did, and now he's forced to address it. I believe that she's absolutely the lead on this. She wrote that letter to the Kremlin begging Putin to release the children. I think she's heartfelt in that approach, and I want to give her a lot of credit. A lot of people have criticized her because she's been an inactive first lady, as if first ladies have some responsibility to be active. It's their prerogative whether they want to involve themselves in issues or not. It's not mandated that they do by any stretch of the imagination. But in this case, I give her a lot of credit for actually getting involved, and she's got the bully pulpit, and at least it's being discussed now. And people who, it may have eluded them that this is part of this war, that nobody's out on the street protesting against, on Columbia University's campus, in Times Square, at Harvard, at UCLA, at the University of Michigan. Where are the encampments demanding that the children be returned? I call on these people of goodwill to come out again and demand that the children be returned.
There are enough Jews in Putin's army.
No Jews, no.
Get a picture of Russian soldiers in yarmulkes. Yeah, they'll be protesting.
They'll be protesting, yeah. Thank you, Scott. We'll go to Dave next with heads up to Alan. You follow me. Dave.
Yes, so Gary, we have an opportunity here, just like Israel fighting Hamas, and you say the communication warfare right now. Right now, we need to gear up the communication warfare. Just like you say, the world should recognize Putin has zero sincerity in having this talk. Because during the EU leader meeting at Washington, Putin already, organizing Belarus, about 40,000 Russian to the border with Ukraine. I don't know if you know about this. So absolutely a kind of middle finger to all the, European leaders at Washington DC together with Trump. So what the US and Europe need to figure out is communication warfare. And I think today Trump called Viktor Orban, it seemed like, after he spoke to Putin. And I think it seemed like he's trying to urge Viktor Orban that Ukraine join the EU as part of the process to increase the security for Ukraine. And I think Viktor Orban might be the country, Hungary, to organize the trilateral summit between the US, Ukraine, and Putin. So these are ongoing negotiations. But I think the solution is this. Just like how Israeli is handling the situation in the Middle East, there's only one language. In the Middle East, if you don't speak the Middle East language, just like the European has zero clue, just intervening and wasting time, that is not helping. And so the European has to learn how to speak the Baltic country language. Putin is a big bully, and you need a way to deter the big bully and to tell the big bully we mean business. That means the next step is, the recent Pakov, there's no the attempt to quickly and settlement, but I think that was quickly destroyed by the Ukraine. That was like 2 days ago. So just in case anybody keeps saying Macron, this is 2 days ago. So the settlement is totally destroyed. And so what I want to say is this: Germany is talking about putting army, French is talking about putting army. I think the best way is to try to figure out a system to increase the number of Latin American countries fighting. Okay? Right now we have about 3,000-4,000 Colombian fighting there. I think we should try to have a very good scheme to encourage more Latino countries to come to Ukraine, increasing the number of Latino countries present there. Just having the number will immediately help Putin. We need business. We need business. And also instead of this Latino country coming to US, now we come up with a good scheme for them to go to Europe. And I think we need to increase the number of military presence because Ukraine is winning. What we need is increasing the number of people on the field, just to showing the number is enough to tell Putin we need business. At the same time, Putin's oil refinery capability has been destroyed 10%. And so I think in the negotiation, US and Europe has to show like we're going to increase that to 20% by next week, maybe 30% by 2 weeks later. I think that would really, tell Putin we need business, and then we increase the communication warfare to address the populist, populate a little bit of Russia. So, but basically, just like Russia in Israel, identify the strategy of multi-front war and work on it one by one. Just like what Israel has achieved, all of them is gone. So
Steve, you bring up a very interesting point, and I want to expand on it just a little bit here. And that is, you're talking about any peace proposal must include security guarantees for Ukraine. And that means all these countries will ensure security for Ukraine. Now, what that exactly means, I don't know. Does it mean that they'll actually send troops? Does it mean that they will defer to UN peacekeepers who are not allowed to fire around unless they come under attack? So you can walk into a village that's being quote-unquote protected by UN peacekeepers, and you can massacre people right in front of them, and so long as you don't shoot anybody wearing a blue helmet, you can do so with impunity. I don't think a lot of people understand that because we call them peacemakers. Okay, so wait a minute, let me get to the question. The question is, why the hell, if people are talking about security guarantees for Ukraine in the future as part of a peace plan, do these nations have to wait for, you don't need Putin's agreement to provide security for Ukraine. It's happening now. It may or may not happen in the future following a peace. Knowing Putin and whoever the subsequent leaders of the Kremlin might be, based on past experience, it would just mean that they'll bide their time and invade again. But okay, why, if you're so concerned about a security guarantee for Putin, why don't you unilaterally, what do you need? I mean, for Ukraine, why don't you just unilaterally do it now? Why do you have to wait for Putin's approval? What is he, your daddy? So agree now. Make a security pact right now. They don't have to join NATO. I agree with Putin. We don't want them to join NATO. Fine. But the NATO nations not acting as NATO can say, we're going to provide a security pact They can all sign on to a security pact for Ukraine and go in there right now. And by the way, the president said, again, changing his position from one day to the next. He said one day that he would consider sending U.S. troops in as part of a security guarantee. And then he said, no boots on the ground, but we'll provide air support. I don't know what air support means, but if it means dropping bombs on Russian troops, if you really are saying that that's what you're going to do, why wait? It's happening now. Why not? I know I'm going to sound like a warmonger here, and people are going to say, oh my God, if you do that, you're going to start a direct war between the United States and Russia, and you're playing around with an itchy finger on the nuclear bomb and all that kind of nonsense. And maybe so. But I'm just saying that if that's your concern, based on what I proposed, then that will be your concern the next time we go through this, security guarantees agreed upon or not, right? So what does it mean, air support? Why do we have to wait? When I say we, I don't mean the United States. I mean